Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today I'm going to do a review on the Troublemaker Colourpop palette, like the collection. It's not the entire collection, but I did buy the palette, 2 of the Jelly Much shadows, and all of the lip products that were like Luxe Velvet that are right here. Yeah, I didn't buy the entire collection only because Jelly Much shadows do dry out over time, just in case you don't know. So if you're not going to use the product like a lot, I wouldn't recommend you buying it. And that's the reason why I only got 2. I believe there was 5 in that collection. Yeah, I was like, no way, I'm not getting all of them. You know, it'd just be a waste of product, thus waste of money, you know. So I was like, I'll just buy the 2 ones that I can think of. Honestly, I wanted the darkest one there, but then I thought about, I was like, why the heck do I need that many? Just get whatever, 1 or 2, and then leave it at that. That's my whole reasoning behind it. It is a waste of money. If you're not going to use the product, there's just no need buying it. The palette comes like this, and it is called the Troublemaker palette, pressed powder palette. I like the design. It has this very old rock and roll type of rebelness to it. I don't know. I like it. The back just has the baddie, you know, like the names of the shades right here. And then the Troublemaker. When you take it out of that, it has the same, you know, design. In the back, it's exactly the same as well. And then you open it right here. It has no mirror, but, you know, most of the Colourpops, if you've bought Colourpop in the past, most of the palettes this size don't have mirrors anyways. And these are the shades. So the shades are very neutral, cool tone. They're not a whole lot of color. They're very grungy. So definitely if you don't like that type of grungy, you know, rock and roll type of colors, cool tones at least, you're not going to like this palette. I'm going to tell you that I thought the palette was okay. I don't feel like you need it, especially if these color story doesn't really speak to you. Don't buy it just for the packaging. Buy it because you like the color story. I personally can use these colors because I do kind of, I don't gravitate towards these tones normally, like on a normal day basis. But it's not something that I would have needed personally because I know I have these shades in other palettes. So it's not like, oh yeah, you need this in your collection. Definitely I got it because I wanted it, not because so much I needed it. It just, when you become a collector at this point, and that's what I am with the palettes that I have, it's like you have to buy it because you want to add it to your collection. Not so much, you know, if you just say, oh, I need it. Technically, you don't need anything. At this point, I'm drowning in palettes and you don't need it. I don't need it. But I liked it. Some things that I didn't, I actually like this tone. And it is a sequin, dark, almost matte black and the sequins are like, the glitter is purple in here. So it gives a very black purple vibe to it. I personally use Zero Effect, this one right here, which is a matte, I want to call it like a burgundy purple. That's what it is. And I use that as my transition shade. Then I use 2 of the Jelly Much, the ones that I bought. I used both of them. I used both the Sass Recap, which is like this berry tone pink. And then I used the purple one that's called Please. So I used both of them to create this look. I don't know if you guys like it, but it's like whatever right now. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. It's totally up to you if you want to buy the collection or anything from this collection. This is what I created with it. I probably would have went a different route, but I really wanted to incorporate those Jelly Much. Normally, I would only use the palette just to show you a look that you can create with just the palette. But since I bought those Jelly Muches, I was like, you know what? I have to use them. Obviously, that's what I bought them for. I didn't use them not to use them. You know, I didn't buy them not to use them. That's what I'm trying to say. So, you guys already know how this normally goes. What I do is that I'm going to start first with the lip products. And we'll do like the lip swatches before I do the actual palette swatches. Palette swatches usually get done at the end of the video. I don't know if you guys are new here or whatever, but that's normally how I do it. I just talk a little bit about the palette and then I just, later at the end, we'll do that. So first off, we have these Luxe Velvet lip products. I have one on my lips right now currently. I have the, I want to say the darkest shade. Yeah, it's the darkest shade. So this is how it comes. In the back it's pretty much all gray, gunmetal gray. The tops just have the names of the lip. So one is called Main Character. I believe that's what it's called. And then you have Meme Maker, Little Rebel, Total Punk, and So Emotional. I personally have Little Rebel on right now. That's the lip shade that you guys see on my lips, which is like a dark purple. When you take them out of the packaging, this is what they look like. I'm basically showing you guys from lightest to darkest. Like that is the darkest one that I have currently on my lips right now. So they're pretty, you know, they're pretty colors. It's just, I don't see the need for so many in this collection. I just would have been fine with just these three, the darkest ones. Or you could add it the second, you know, this one right here. This one was not necessary. I don't think the lightest one was necessary. But that's just my opinion, because I feel like if you would have wanted, you could have just kept this one. And if you wanted, they would have just swapped it for the lightest shade and then kept this one out. Because these ones are not that far off from each other. I mean, I think this one will still work for me, but I don't think this one will look good on my lips. We'll see right now when I do the swatches. Before I move on to the lip swatches, I'm definitely going to give you guys arm swatches real quick. And normally how I do this is I'll start with the lightest shade. I'll just say the name and give you guys a swatch and then give you guys a close-up of said swatch. I'm not going to talk in between that, just to get it out the way, and then we'll move on to the lip swatches, okay? Meme Maker. Total Punk. So Emotional. Main Character. Little Rebel. And those are all of the Luxe Velvet lip products. I personally really love these ones right here. These darkest ones right here. The four. I'm not really into that. I don't think that one's going to even show up on my lips. If it does, it's going to look really light. But personally, those are my favorites. I really wanted to do that red, but then I was like, you know what? I have purple in my eyes, so I might as well just do the darkest shade. But definitely, I really love this formula. I will tell you guys that the only downside to this formula, I feel like you have to add it several times in order to get like an even consistency on your lips, because if you don't, it comes out sort of patchy in some areas. I don't know if you guys can see. It's just really dry. You guys, honestly, it's not smudge proof, so you will have some type of smudge effect if you touch it. It's not a bad thing. It's just, I really like that it's comfortable, it's smooth. I can still honestly move my lips and I still have that moisturizing feelness to it. I just feel like this would have been better if it was a more even distribution on your lips and it became more, because you have to honestly add to have pigmentation. So like to have, make it look more even, and you don't feel like there's lighter areas on your lips versus on other areas. And to me, when I wear one of these, I always wear a lip gloss on top. I highly recommend a lip gloss. Lip glosses just help you even it out, and it makes it look just even, not like patchy. And then you, of course, you get that glowiness from the gloss, right? But that's just my opinion. That's just my suggestion. You don't have to take it. Take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, it is your money. Okay, you guys, so this is another day, and I want to explain that when I originally did this video, I didn't notice that I was missing one of the lip products. Colourpop hadn't sent it to me, and I ended up paying for the product either way. So I reached out to them and I let them know, hey, I'm missing this lip color. I didn't even notice I was missing it. Can you send me out one? And then, yeah, they did send me out this color that's called Seriously. I'm going to do a little quick swatch for you guys here in the back of my hand. And then I'm going to do a little, you guys are going to see that on the lips, it's all going to go just, you're going to see a different look. This is from the Beauty Creations Winter Spice collection. So that's a separate video. I will be doing that too. But this is specifically for this one because like I said, I didn't even notice I was missing a lipstick till it was too late. And I was like, what? I'm missing a lipstick? And I wasn't gonna let it go. Y'all paid for it. So this is it right here. Okay, so I'm gonna let the video go how it normally goes, and then you guys will literally see me doing this with this look and then my other look differently, okay? And that is pretty much it for the lip swatches, y'all. I personally did not like that lightest shade that I told you guys I wouldn't like anyways, because I just don't do the one that's called Meme Maker. I don't do light lipsticks like that. I just don't like the two-tone ombre look. I know a lot of people do. It's not for me. So I naturally don't like the lightest shades in there. I actually did like all the other ones besides this one. So I was pretty surprised at the second lightest shade, which is the Total Punk. I actually like that because I feel like if I had a darker lip liner, it would still work for me. Even though you couldn't really see a whole lot of pigment, I still liked how it looked on my lips either way. This one I really loved, So Emo Chanel. So it's like So Emo and then Chanel. I really like this one. It's so freaking pretty on the lips. This was like, I think my favorite out of all of them. The So Emotional one. The one that I wore before this one, which is the main character. That's like a very vampy red. I really love that color because it's just so versatile. You could wear it a lot of, you know, if you're wearing an outfit that you think it's going to look good with red, this is the red. It literally will look good with anything. It's that type of red that goes good with any type of red tone lipstick look you want to put with it. And then, of course, I know obviously this is not going to be for everyone because it is a dark purple. And because it's a Troublemaker palette, it's a very emo collection. And I don't even know if I've ever told you guys, but when I was younger, I went through my little emo days too. I was like, I wore a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, I was always dark lipstick. Stuff like this, right up my alley. I still wear them from time to time. I kind of don't feel comfortable in those darker lipsticks, but I still wear them. It'll be like a day when I'm feeling extra dark. And I just like, let's go put on the devil lipstick. Not just kidding. But yeah, I really recommend the Luxe lipsticks. I love the formula. I just tell you guys that try to put on, because I actually didn't have that patchy problem with all of them. I think it was just this one, which is the darkest shade, which makes sense to me now because it happens with the darkest shades. The other ones, I feel like they didn't really need it, but definitely it looks 1,000 times better with lip gloss on top. That's just my opinion. You don't have to do if you don't want to, okay? Let's move on to the Jelly Much shadow. So these are the two Jelly Muches that I bought, you guys. Like I said, there's at least, I want to say 5 for sure. I might be wrong and there might be 6 in this collection. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember for the life of me. You guys already know. I said it, I forget it, and I don't think about it anymore. I literally just buy it, get it in the mail, sometimes if I have, you know, because Colourpop be popping out new collections every week, I can't remember half of the stuff that I was like, I think I bought that collection. Did I buy that collection? And then it comes in the mail. It's like, oh yeah, I did buy that collection. But I'm not 100% sure if it was 6 or 5. I know there was like a ton. And I only picked 2. And I had the hardest time. Like my 2 friends could tell you. Abby, who lives here in Sacramento. And then I have my other friend who lives in Fresno. I was seriously saying, I want like 3. No, I want 2. Why am I even bothering it? Because the downside to Jelly Much Shadows is it dries up. It will dry up, and not even Jesus Christ can bring that shit back to life. I'm telling you as of now, I've tried everything. And even though you can bring it somewhat back to life, it's not fully resurrected. You can get it to a point where it'll still work. And when I say work, I mean it's going to go on your lid, but it's not going to have that same smoothie, jelly consistency that it had when you first bought this. That's all I'm going to say, okay? It's not a bad product, but Colourpop needs to get their SHIT together because I don't even remember how fast it dries out. I just know if you don't freaking use it within like maybe 6 months or so, it'll turn hard like a piece of jelly clay, and it's like stretchy. I've heard people say if you add, I don't know what it was. It was like jojoba oil or water, and God knows I've tried stuff, and I just don't see it. I don't see it, so I don't see the reason to recommend you guys to buy any. If not, please don't buy all of them. If you're not going to use it every day or every other day, or at least 3-4 times a month, I wouldn't recommend this thing. They actually, I don't even know why the heck they should either stop selling this product or maybe sell a smaller version, because I feel like it's a lot of product in there. And I honestly don't think I'll ever get all of this done, like used. I used both of them today. Like, come on. I used the green and then I used the purple. And the only thing I don't like about this too, this is definitely not a product you want to use in a combination with other eyeshadows. Because I feel like between mattes and this is not like a shimmer consistency. Shimmers and mattes tend to play good together, right? They're nice. They get along. This wants to be the star of the show. This stands out a whole lot, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that when I put it on, it kind of like took over the show over the transition shade that's there. And now it just looks like a very prominent harsh line. I don't want to call it a harsh line because obviously it's not. It's a Jelly Much Shadow. It's a different formula from what the matte that I have on my eye. But definitely, these are stars of the show. They take over your entire eye, and it just... Who's even back there anymore? Nobody even cares, okay? Because the stinger is front and center, and nobody cares about the ones that are in the back pulling the curtains together. Because that's what the mess became. No one's playing with the lights. Nobody cares anymore. That's what happened. So I'm going to give you guys swatches real quick. Yeah, I'm too much already. I'm going to start with this pink one. You guys already know. I'm just going to open it honestly right now to show it to you guys. And then I'll give you guys just little quick swatches of each one. Definitely, I give my props to you guys 100% if you guys wear like nails all the time. I couldn't for the life of me, and I'm just wearing press-ons, okay? Like, I could not get these suckers open. I had to, like, see how I could, like, lift this up. And I said, dang it, how do other people do this? If you wear these nails, I freaking admire you so much because I was having such a hard time with everything. They get in the way of everything. And then I get serious anxiety issues, so I cannot have anything on my nails. Like, I want to rip them off. Just like the first sign of an anxiety attack or whatever. I just get anxious and I just want to rip them off. So that's just me though. So that one was called Sass Recap. That's the pink one that you guys see on my eye. It's like a very, I want to say like a pink, and it has glitter. It has glitter, okay? We're going to do the purple one. I'm going to show you guys, give you guys a close-up. Purple is called Please, P-L-Z. Okay? No Grammy Nazis, don't come for me. That's how they spelt it on this dang thing. And this is what the purple looks like. Now, you can't see the glitters in there. You cannot see them. But right now, when I give you guys a swatch right here on my back of my hand. You guys are going to see what they look like, okay? So let me start with that pink one real quick. We're going to do a quick swatch. And just like I said, Jelly Much tends to feel very cool to the touch. They feel almost like a cream, like a clay mask. That would be a very good description of it. And they do dry down, but they dry down. They don't flake off, but it's like they're not good at blending. So if you're going to blend, basically like painting with acrylic paints, you have to paint as quick as possible. And if you want to blend one Jelly Much shadow with the next Jelly Much shadow, you better be quick before that thing dries out. Because when it dries out, you ain't getting nothing back. Now, I want to give you guys a real, because this is really like thick on right now. I want to like sort of pat it on the side right here. Just to show you guys what it looks like when it kind of dries down. I want to see if you guys can see those glitters, because it does have glitters in it. Because this one's still wet, technically. So I'm trying to pat it to see if it dries off, so you guys can see what it looks like dried. And definitely, like I said, even right now it's drying on my hand, so you kind of have, there's like a window of maybe maybe a minute tops. A minute tops before it dries completely. So if you're going to do any type of blending with one of the Jelly Much shadows to the other one, you have to do it like quickly. As quick as you can. Because once it dries, girl, once it dries, Jesus ain't coming. He ain't resurrecting that shit, okay? The next one is this gorgeous purple that's called Please. I love this purple one, honestly. I wanted that darkest one. They have like a really dark one. I can't remember what it called. Emo something. God, I love that black. It was like a black with purple glitter in it. Oh, I wanted it so bad, y'all. But like I said, if you Jelly Much shadows, they dry after a couple months. If you're not going to be using these suckers all the time, do not buy them. Do not waste your money, dude. It's not worth it. So I'm giving you guys the same thing where I'm patting one on the corner so you guys can see what it looks like dried, and then what it looks like applied on there. So it's very intense. Both of them are intense. Jelly Much shadows are intense in general. That's just how they are. I love the formula, honestly. It's really, really pretty. Very comfortable on the eye. It doesn't flake off. It doesn't like, you know, some of these type of formulas, they claim that it's like, oh, it's like a Jelly Much liquid eyeshadow. Suckers flake off. And they do not stay on. This is the only formula that I've seen that stay on. And it's like constant there. It does not flake off at all. And it's like the star of the show. It's really pretty. I can see all the glitters on my eye. They have not flaked off at all. They're there. They suckers stayed. The only bad thing I have to say about Jelly Much is they dry. That's it. So if you're not going to use it every day or a lot, I want to say a lot, as much as you can, to get the most use out of it. Or buy them when they go on sale. Sometimes they have those sales, like $6, $5, something like that. Then just wait till they go on sale. Because it's honestly, for the amount that you're paying, they give you quite a bit. You think it's not a lot in that little pot, but a little goes a long way with these Jelly Muches. You wouldn't think. I was just using a little brush like this, a little flat brush, and literally just going like this and applying it like that. Hey, it works, okay? So now let's move on to the swatches in the palette. Okay, so now jumping straight into the palette, I kind of don't want to talk anymore because I feel like this video might be a little bit longer than what I want it to be. And so we're just going to jump into the swatches already. This is actually the only Super Shock shadow that is in this collection. Real quick, I just want to point that out. Baddie is a Super Shock. It's a very soft consistency compared to the rest, so I knew it was a Super Shock. That is the one that I tried to use as my inner corner highlight at first, and then I just didn't get that intensity I wanted, and then I ended up going for Villain. So I'm going to start right here with Baddie, and I'm going to go clear across to each of the rows until we get to the end of this palette, okay? So like I said, Baddie is a Super Shock, and it is a very light, silvery, almost vanilla color. And it has glitter throughout it. Very pretty, you guys. I love this tone. Next, you have Sus. S-U-S. Jesus, what these names. This is a taupe matte. I actually wanted to use that today as my transition shade, but I didn't end up doing it. It's like a gray taupe look. younger self. This is a pink matte. A pink rosy matte. Ooh, I love this one. It's almost like a mauvey pink, actually. Now you have Wild. This is a pink shimmer. Y'all, now that I'm swatching it, it looks 1,000 times better as a swatch than it ever did in the palette. In the palette, it did not stand out to me. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks like a metallic rose with a lot of glitter in it. So definitely, it looks a lot better as a swatch. In the palette, it just looks like this boring pink tone. I don't know. It just didn't call out to me at all. It just, I was like, what is this? Didn't interest me at all. Now that I'm looking at a swatch, I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cute. In the next row, we have Fry Night. Oh, I love this. This is like a mauve purple matte. Definitely really dark. I would have loved if they would have had a darker shade than the ones that they had in this palette. I feel like it needed that. So it's definitely like this grayish mauve purple, gray, almost like that. It's a matte. They didn't have any dark shades in here besides the Cold Hearted and the You Love It, which is like the two darkest shades in here. I would have loved to have a black. It's a Troublemaker palette. You know, it makes sense, a black. But they didn't. Villain Era is a straight up shimmer platinum silver. Really, really pretty. Creamy. Then you have Real. This looks like a duochrome between a purple and a gray. At least that's what it looks like. It looks like a duochrome. It's a shimmer as well. That's so pretty. Then you have Zero Effects. This is the one that I use for my transition shade. It's a very berry tone matte. And it has quite a bit of kick up right now. Even when I was using it with the brush, it did have a little bit of kick up. So just FYI. Next we have in the next row, we have Kick Ass. This is a gray shimmer. I would call it a pewter gray shimmer. This is actually one of the shades that I'm noticing right now that has the little, I don't know what Colourpop did, if they didn't like secure the shadow good on my palette, but it's basically moving around as I was doing the swatches. The little pan in there is moving. I was like, okay, somebody didn't glue my sucker down. In the next to that one, we have Messy. Okay, this is like a purple, I think. Looks like a purple pink metallic shimmer. I actually love this one. This one's really pretty. Then you have Cold Hearted, which is that black matte with pink glitter in it. It does feel dry and gritty, just so you guys know. I did use a little tiny bit of this one right here on the bottom. So it does feel dry, it does feel gritty. The glitters, of course, barely show up, so I don't even think they stayed on there. I would have preferred a matte gray, definitely. I feel like that one still works. You can still use it, but I didn't really like it that much. I figured, like, why didn't they add like a matte? Just a matte black would have done. Even a dark espresso brown would have been so pretty in this palette. I don't know why I feel like they didn't pick the right colors to represent this collection. But that's just me, you know. Last you have You Love It, which is a dark matte gray. Honestly, I don't get this one. I don't get this darkest shade because we already have a gray in here. We already have this gray. They don't look that far off from each other. The only difference is one's a shimmer, one's obviously they are. This one does look a little darker, but still, like, come on. You only need one. You have that silver. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. And those are all the shades in this palette. Definitely, like I said, I know this color story is obviously not going to be for everyone. Not everybody likes these cool tone what you would consider, I consider it like a rock and roll emo type of palette. I don't know. I know obviously this color story is not going to be for everyone. I personally liked it because I like, sometimes, you know, I go through my stages and I feel like wearing these dead colors. I'll wear these dead colors. It won't be all the time, but definitely I did not need this palette. I'm just saying, if you want it, buy it, but I would say skip it overall. It's definitely not for everyone, these shade tones. They're very cool tones. Not everybody's gonna like these ones. Some people even might say they're not dark enough for them, which I kind of agree. You have a lot of these light ones. They does have these ones though. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of like, so if you're not like, you know, goth, grungy, emo, if you don't like those type of tones, you're not gonna like this palette. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, skip it if you don't want it, or buy it. Either way, it doesn't make a difference to me, because at the end of the day, it's your money. And I already told you guys this so many times, but I have to repeat it every single video because people don't seem to, they seem to get offended. They think I'm trying to convince them of something. I don't get PR. I can't convince you of something. I can only tell you what my experience was. And you decide if you want it towards the end, okay? So that's pretty much the end of this video. I'm gonna let you guys go. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a video. And until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.